Hello, welcome to the Aunty Lisa show. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, in the story today is Kristoffer, Aunty Lisa, Aleksander. The aquarium, a rocket, the Ghostbusters, a treasure chest, Superman, and an Ankylosaurus. I'm so glad I've stuck to my usual system of picking out random things. Right. Let's put that there. Okay. One day, Aunty Lisa, Aleksander and Kristoffer decided to go on a day out to the aquarium. Now, at the aquarium, you can see all sorts of fish and crabs and other underwater creatures. And so it was going to be a great day. So they packed their bags with lots of nice snacks to eat and always bringing with them some ghost hunting equipment to be on the safe side and any kind of dinosaur based equipment too. And off we trotted to the aquarium and everything was going lovely. Aunty Lisa had had a nice cup of coffee in the aquarium coffee shop and they were set to go into the aquarium and they were looking at all the cool fish, especially the sharks and the manta rays. The rays are really cool because they have cute little faces but they have big floppy wings. Anyway, they're not really wings because they're under the water, but you get my drift. They're very nice. They're one of my favourites, in fact. Anyway, so that was all going really well when they noticed in one of the aquariums there was a treasure chest. And Aunty Lisa said, that's odd because you don't normally see a treasure chest in an aquarium. Maybe it's a new feature of the aquarium and they thought for decoration they make it like a pirate theme. So she went up to one of the people who worked at the aquarium and she said, hey, have you gone for a pirate theme in this tank? And they said, oh, what now? No pirate theme here. You're crazy, Aunty Lisa. What made you think it's a pirate theme? And Aunty Lisa said, well, there's a treasure chest in it. And they said, oh, so there is a treasure chest. I wonder how that got in there. And Aunty Lisa said, oh, that's very strange. Oh well, and they all went about their day. Nobody thought any more of it until they were walking back through the aquarium and they heard a strange noise coming from the tank with the treasure chest in. And it went, and everyone went. Now, the aquarium by this point was about to shut. And they said, well, maybe it's one of the filters or the pumps in the tanks getting stuck. Let's go and have a proper listen. Aunty Lisa, Aleksander and Kristoffer all stuck their ears against the tank. That's what I'm doing now. They listen. And they heard it again. Aleksander said, hey, that's a really spooky noise, Aunty Lisa. Kristoffer said, yeah, that's a super spooky noise. And they both took out their ghost vision goggles. And they looked at that treasure chest. And the treasure chest turned out to be surrounded by spooky ghostly tentacles and spooky ghostly fish with big teeth like the ones at the bottom of the deep sea. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, whoa, that's some very spooky ghosts around that treasure chest, Aunty Lisa. And Aunty Lisa said, what? Let me have a look. Oh, okay, that's pretty spooky. And just as she was thinking, well, we should probably leave, something happened, and it was this. It went Ahoy there, me hearties. And Aunty Lisa went, did you hear that, Aleksander and Kristoffer? And they said, yeah, we heard that. We know who that sounds like. And sure enough, from behind the treasure chest came an old enemy. Captain BlackPaw. And he was angry. And he went, what ye be doing here, you scurvy sea swaggers? And Aunty Lisa said, oh, not you again. What are you doing here, more like, Captain BlackPaw? And he said, I'm staying with my treasure chest. And Aunty Lisa said, I thought it was just a nice feature they put in the tank to make it look cool. And he said, no, they stole it from me and I'm haunting it to keep it safe. And he clung his arms all around his manky old treasure chest. And Aunty Lisa said, well, looks like you're all sorted then. We'll see you later, Captain BlackPaw. Bye. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, bye-bye then, Captain BlackPaw. He went, oi, you! You not scared of me? And Aunty Lisa said, well, not so much now you're in a fish tank. And he went, what? Fish tank? Oh, what? Oh, I've been put inside this fish tank. We'll see about that. And Aunty Lisa said, oh dear, Aleksander and Kristoffer, I think we're in for a rough ride. He is not happy about being in that fish tank. And just as she said that, whack! Captain BlackPaw had thrown a rock at the tank wall and it made a teeny tiny crack. And Aunty Lisa said, uh-oh. And then he went, whack! Again. Another bigger crack. Whack! And Aunty Lisa said, run! And Aleksander and Aunty Lisa and Kristoffer ran for their lives because just as she said that, the whole tank smashed and water and fish, angry fish, flew in a great big torrent out of the tank where the wall had just broken and formed a huge wave that swept up Aleksander, Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa, and she grabbed hold of the two of them and they grabbed hold of her because they can't swim properly yet, and they swooped all the way through the aquarium out to the exit and onto the floor, and all around them there was fish like this, flipping and flipping and flipping. The sharks were there, and the manta rays. And Aunty Lisa said, we've got to help the fish. What are we going to do? Now, luckily, a couple of the aquarium staff had not yet left because it hadn't shut yet. And they were like, what just happened? And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, do you think we should tell them about the chest? And Aunty Lisa said, it might terrify them a little bit if they know there's a haunted treasure chest in there. But I don't see how we can't. They might blame us. So they started explaining to the people who worked there, whose names were Bob and Jill, all about the haunted treasure chest and how Captain BlackPaw had thrown a stone at the wall of the fish tank and it had made it explode. And Bob and Jill laughed. Well, that was rude. They went, as if there's a ghost haunting a treasure chest. Ghosts in the fish tank. What will you think of next? Oh my goodness me. But then the treasure chest came sliding across the wet floor. And it fell over. And all the gold coins went all over the place and scattered. And then out came a very, 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 very angry Captain BlackPaw. And he went, "Arr! Get away from my gold coins!" And everyone went, "Whoop! Okay, we're getting away from your gold coins, Captain BlackPaw. Yep, nothing to see here. Okay, whoa. Aunty Lisa, sorry, you were right. There is a ghost haunting the treasure chest. Okay, didn't even know there were gold coins in there. Whew, should have checked that before we put it in the fish tank. Well, he was super angry. There was only one thing to do. When there's a ghost haunting you, you got to call someone. And you got to call the Ghostbusters. And that is who Aunty Lisa had on speed dial on her phone, which used to be a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing. Anyway, she called the Ghostbusters. And it went, da-da-da-da-da, 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 Ghostbusters! And around the corner came the ghost-busting car. It went, whew, 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 whew. Pete Venkman was in there. And the other ones, whose names I can't, Egon. Oh yeah, some other Ghostbusters were in there. And they leapt out of the car. And Aunty Lisa was like, wow, that was quick. Amazing. And they said, oh, we were just round the corner dealing with another ghost. Would you believe it? It has been a very spooky day today. And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, guys, if you borrow our special new ghost detecting spectacles, you can see all the other ghosts around too. And they said, okay, will do. They borrowed them and they were like, whoa, look at all the spooky fishy ghosts. There were going to be some more fishy ghosts soon if no one got into action, because there was also a crisis happening with the fish that was left on the floor like this. Everyone knew that time was at a premium right now for those fish. They needed rescuing. So the Ghostbusters got to bust in some ghosts. And they busted all the ghosts. But Captain BlackPaw fought back. And he started throwing gold coins at them. And the Ghostbusters was like, hey, this ghost is really dastardly. And Aunty Lisa said, quick, get the treasure chest. He'll always follow the treasure chest. And whatever they tried to do, they were like, psh, trying to catch it with their super rays. Psh. Aleksander and Kristoffer had their mobile phones like, pew, 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 we've got to catch this ghost. Pew, pew, pew. No one could catch Captain BlackPaw. Aunty Lisa grabbed the treasure chest and she put it on the roof of her car. And she was like, quick, we'll take it to the sea. But we've also got to rescue these fish. This is a dire emergency. What are we going to do? Well, just at that moment, who should arrive but Superman, who was actually just on his way from rescuing an Ankylosaurus that had fallen off a cliff. And he was carrying an Ankylosaurus by the tail. It was a very angry Ankylosaurus. It was like, ah! And Superman was like, oh, sure, I've rescued you. And anyway, he was just swooping past this new disaster scene. And he stopped for a moment. He looked down and went, what is going on here? And everyone went, oh, Captain BlackPaw's on the rampage. And there were coins flying. And everyone, oh man, we're going to get knocked up. Ow, Aunty Lisa got hit in the head by a coin. Oh. Out cold, completely useless. Boshed on the head by a coin. Aleksander and Kristoffer were like, you hit our auntie with a coin, Captain BlackPaw. That's really mean. They said, right, that's it. Superman by now put the Ankylosaurus down on the floor because it was really cross. Aleksander and Kristoffer climbed on top of the Ankylosaurus and they said, right, giddy up, Ankylosaurus. We're going to get rid of this treasure chest once and for all. And the Ankylosaurus, with one almighty whack, like someone hitting a golf ball with a club, whacked the treasure chest from the top of Aunty Lisa's car where she'd left it, and it flew through the air into the sea. And Captain BlackPaw went with it because he will always follow his treasure chest. And everyone was like, oh, we were going to catch Captain BlackPaw, but at least he stopped throwing coins. And someone take Aunty Lisa to hospital. And Aleksander and Kristoffer were like, we'll take her. She can ride on the Ankylosaurus with us. And everyone said, I don't think that's a safe way to take Aunty Lisa to hospital, but okay. So, they flung Aunty Lisa over the top of the Ankylosaurus, who it turned out was quite tame and enjoyed giving people rides. And I said, okay, we'll take Aunty Lisa to hospital, but can somebody please rescue these fish? Because they're all going to die if they're left out for too long. And Bob and Jill, the guys who worked at the aquarium, were already running around trying to gather up the fish and put them in tubs to try and rescue them. And Superman said, right, don't worry about a thing. I'm going to rescue all these fish in one big go. And he went like this. And he made a whirlwind. And he scooped up all the fish into a big whirl like this. Sharks were going round and round in circles. Crabs flying round in circles in this whirlwind. And he said, Bob, Jill, where do you want them put down? And they went, they're going to have to go in one of the other fish tanks. Oh, gosh, I just don't know what to do. And then he said, but they can't go in with the other fish. They'll eat them. Oh, no. So, Superman said, isn't there that new open-air swimming pool that doesn't have chlorine in it nearby? And they said, yeah, I think so. He said, right, that's where they're headed. So, he took them to the new swimming pool, where lots of people were very surprised to see loads of sharks spinning round in a whirlwind, flying over them. And Superman went, get out of the pool! And everyone went, getting out of the pool quickly! And they all leapt out of the swimming pool. And then Superman stopped the whirlwind whirling, and all the sharks and the manta rays and the crabs and the other creatures that had been in the tank all landed with a big splash into the pool. And we're like, they were extremely relieved. That was lightning, by the way, if you're wondering what that was. So, thankfully, I don't know if you can hear that. That was thunder. We are having a thunderstorm here in Hartford. Yeah, it's quite groovy. Anyway, so it was with great relief that all of the fish, the sharks, the manta rays, everyone was swimming around in the swimming pool. And all the people were on the side like, woo, looking at the fish swimming around in the swimming pool going, whew, glad you gave us a warning, Superman, but how are we going to get them out? We'll worry about that later. Meanwhile, Aunty Lisa was on her way to the hospital riding on top of an Ankylosaurus with Aleksander and Kristoffer. The hospital staff were quite surprised when instead of what's normal, an ambulance or a car arrived, but it was an Ankylosaurus. And they were like, whoa, 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 you can't bring that in here. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, okay, we'll park it out here by the other ambulances. And they went, oh my God, just don't let it whack anything, okay? And the Ankylosaurus was like, And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, has anyone got any watermelon? Luckily, this hospital had watermelon. So they gave the Ankylosaurus some watermelon, and he was very content to stay where he was. And they carried in Aunty Lisa, who was still knocked out cold. That's how you look when you're knocked out cold. They carried her in by arms and legs. And they went, ugh! Our auntie got hit in the head by a flying gold coin thrown by a horrible ghost. Can you fix her, please? And the hospital staff said, that is an unusual story. She has a great big circle-shaped lump on her head. That would explain it. Okay, we will fix her up nicely. So they took Aunty Lisa in and they did a few tests to check her brain was still inside, and it was. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't technically just a hamster on a wheel, although there maybe was one in there too. And they said she just needs a nice sleep, and when she wakes up, we need to give her her favourite kind of ice lolly. And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, what's her favourite kind of ice lolly? And the hospital staff said, don't you know? It's a rocket ice lolly. Because they have that chocolatey bit on the end and then the different colour layers. It's a particularly good ice lolly. And Aleksander and Kristoffer goes, yes, it is a good ice lolly. We should get some of those then. Anyway, in due course, Aunty Lisa woke up. And Aleksander and Kristoffer gave her a rocket ice lolly to help her feel a bit better. And then they brought her a nice cup of tea. And she said, is everything okay? Are all the fish okay? We've got to rescue the fish. And they said, it's okay. Superman put them in the swimming pool. And Aunty Lisa said, oh, good. Okay, then. And so, Aleksander and Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa finished their day by eating rocket ice lollies and drinking cups of tea. And it all turned out all right in the end. And their friend Superman became really good friends with the Ankylosaurus. And he took the Ankylosaurus back to Jurassic World, where he often visited him and brought him extra watermelon. And everybody was happy, including Bob and Jill, who'd had the time of their life with the Ghostbusters, helping to bust ghosts. And it was a great day all round, apart from the bit where Aunty Lisa got knocked out cold. But other than that, it was a pretty good adventure. And that is the end of the story. Love you. Night night.